Welcome to another episode of TC with Lily, a day in the life of a real estate transaction coordinator. Today I'm going to discuss 7 mistakes I made in my first 5 years of business. February 27th, 2018, I said, I quit. That's enough. Go check out my podcast on that, the Transaction Care Podcast. Go to transactioncarepodcast.com to stream that. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. But I talk about all the ups and downs and in-betweens. But in this particular episode, I want to focus on 7 areas that I was weak, failed at, that I'm learning from, that I'm still growing from, and implementing into my lifestyle and my business today. Check it out. And merch, we have merch. This episode is brought to you by tccarepackage.com, the first ever launch of transaction care merch. Check it out, tccarepackage.com. The quickest way to burnout is to not ask for help. That has to be the biggest mistake I made in the first year. And I think I still continue to make this mistake only because oftentimes I'm focused on learning something before I ask for help. Like I'm so curious, I want to know how to do something and see, well, how much of this can I do before I outsource it or ask for help. I'm working on it. I'm not perfect, but in the first year of my business, I overworked myself so much to the point that I burnt out going into my second year. And by my third year, I hated everything and everyone that had to do with my work. And thankfully, I was able to work through all of that and get to the other side of those angry, resentful, burnt out feelings. So if you are new to entrepreneurship, business, or whatever career path you've chosen, ask for help. One of the best things you can do for yourself as a solopreneur is to find your network, find your community. My first year ever of running a business, up until now, I'm in my 5th year, isolation has been almost a gift and a curse. There are times when it's important to isolate and just focus in on whatever it is you need to accomplish, whether it's for a 3-hour period or an 8-hour time block or a 20-minute time block, whatever the case. I think in those situations, isolation is important, especially when you feel yourself kind of veering off and losing focus on what's at hand or what's at stake. But in the grand scheme of things, in the long run, isolation can also be the downfall of your business. Going back to not asking for help, being alone in this whole process can really make the process depressing, sad, and honestly just not enjoyable. And when it's all said and done, we want to look back and see if we had fun. Did we enjoy the process? Do I remember any of it? If you're only doing this, if you're trying to carry everything on your shoulders alone and do it alone, I think you will get far. But it helps, and it's nice to collaborate and have a community surrounding you to make this journey and all of that you are trying to accomplish in your goals that much more enjoyable. Knowing your numbers is so important. I talk about this a lot. Money, budgeting, finances. It's so important to know every penny coming in and out of your business, because there will be times when the money is just overflowing, and there could potentially be times when it's just at a complete halt and you may go days, months, weeks without knowing where your next check is going to be. Overspending is also a part of this whole business entrepreneurship lifestyle. Unfortunately, I overspent in some areas where I shouldn't have, just to fill the space, just to fill the gap, whether it was hiring virtual assistants, content managers, attorneys, programs, courses. I made those mistakes, and you are going to make those mistakes. Just try to catch them early and be on top of every single penny coming in and out of your account. Even if you've hired help, a financial advisor, an accountant, a bookkeeper, still be on top of it. Make it a collaborative effort instead of just outsourcing and giving it up to someone else, because we wouldn't want anyone to come in and just hurt your business because you weren't paying attention or because you weren't on it. And I'm taking these notes as well for myself. Don't worry. I'm also talking to myself. But for anyone out there new to this game, or you just need a reminder, know your numbers. The easy choice is to stick to what you're good at and to just keep doing it. And to not veer too far away from it and to not let it go. But for me, one of the mistakes I made in the beginning of my venture in entrepreneurship and business is that I didn't allow my other skills and talents to shine in a way that I was able to feel comfortable with just trying. I enjoy creating content. I enjoy media. I enjoy vlogging. I enjoy journaling. But I think I was so focused on this is working, I don't want to mess it up. When in actuality, I wasn't that happy or enjoying the work. I enjoyed all of the outside aspects of it, location independence, time freedom, things like that. But I knew deep down there's something more. And today, that feeling is slowly emerging. And I'm doing things every day to allow that part of me to shine, to explore different avenues, and to use the skills that I have in ways that bring me joy and can take me in other directions and open up doors and create opportunities for myself that I can't even imagine. So fear of failure, scarcity mentality, find ways to not avoid those feelings because you want to acknowledge them, but more so create tools and resources for yourself to know, okay, when I'm feeling this way, what's actually true about this situation and what else could be true. Ask yourself different questions. Read books. 2 books that came to mind when I was talking about this topic was Atomic Habits. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this. If not, the link will be below. And Change Your Questions, Change Your Life. Give those a try if you have no other options, if you don't know where to start. Read the books. Ask me questions. I'm here to support you as well. What are you struggling with? Where are you stuck? What are you afraid of? Let's talk about it. I got really comfortable in the first couple of years of my business because business was overflowing. I had a large number of agents and realtors and brokers that were on my roster, and income and money and closings were flowing in constantly. But I got too comfortable and I stopped advertising myself. I stopped telling people what I was doing. And over time, as I began to realize feelings about myself in this career, I started to say, uh-oh, what's going on? Where's everyone going? And you just always have to be constantly advertising yourself. Otherwise, things are just going to slip away without you even realizing it. And one day you may wake up and not have any business at all. So don't get cocky or complacent. One of the mistakes that I'm currently working on kind of getting out of that I've realized is my business solely relies on me being present. I need to create more passive income, to create more passive products for my business, and find other ways to maximize my time and my energy. Simply because if I'm not present, let's say I go on vacation, things kind of stop. And it also goes back to asking for help, hiring the right people, putting the right people in place to assist you in those matters. But ultimately, in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, I don't want my business to solely rely on me to be present or active in every aspect of things. So creating spaces and opportunities for myself to thrive without having to be in several places at once is definitely a goal. But in the beginning, I definitely was very much to myself, isolated. It's all about me. I'm going to do it all by myself. And that is not the route I want to take anymore. So finally, the biggest mistake I make that I'm actively working on. When I say actively, I mean presently in this moment. I actually did 2 videos on this. Go check it out. But it is self-sabotage. Are you self-sabotaging yourself? For me, it's very much, I have an idea, I'll write it down. I might even plan it out. But then I'll sit down and say, oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. And that's where that fear of failure, those voices, those thoughts, those intruding thoughts that come to mind, the scarcity mentality, all take over. And my self-sabotage of I don't feel like doing it right now, my energy is off. It's me. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. So self-sabotaging myself has prevented me from enhancing and elevated on so many levels, and I'm realizing it now. Going into my 5th year, approaching a decade of being an entrepreneur, whatever that looks like, I'm just showing up and taking action. I feel like that's the best I can do, and I'll continue to push myself and elevate in ways that are kind and graceful to myself, but also I know what I'm capable of, and I know how much fight I have, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed this content, go check out this episode where I talk about the 7 wins in my business that to me were great accomplishments, great choices that continue to help me just progress and show up and be a better person each and every day, not just for myself, but for those I'm servicing and helping, and for the greater purpose of all of this. And again, merch. Office tour coming soon. Stay tuned. TransactionCarePodcast.com, TransactionCare.com, TCCarePackage.com.